Hey everyone, it's Lockhart QT, and a brand new trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine is out, so let's give it a full breakdown for all the Easter eggs, moments you may have missed, and the actual trailer itself, so let's get right into it. So before we get onto the trailer, it has a brand new synopsis which reads as follows. After some professional disappointments and an ongoing midlife crisis, Wade Wilson now sells used cars. He's completely hung up his boots for good until his family, friends and world are all threatened. With everyone he loves at risk, DP teams up with reluctant Wolverine to fight for their survival and ultimately their legacies. So first off, we start the trailer with some brand new posters that were actually released by Marvel, which are all a play on the essentially Deadpool-esque versions of the Logan poster, X-Men posters and X-Men Origins Wolverine posters, which have all been changed for the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, which all look fantastic, and here they are on screen. So firstly, we open up the trailer with Wolverine drinking in a bar, with the bartender saying to Logan that you're not welcome here or anywhere, get lost, suggesting that Wolverine messed up later in the trailer. He messed up in his own universe and caused the death of someone or potentially the entire X-Men or a lot of people in that universe. Wolverine maybe messed up during a mission with the X-Men and it caused the death of a lot of people, maybe why he's not welcome in this bar, and maybe why he's hated by a lot of people. And again, Wolverine drinking in a bar, drinking some whiskey, isn't anything brand new. This is the typical Hugh Jackman's Wolverine and the Wolverine character that we've all grown up and loved, so it's nice to see that he's, keeping with the old character, and especially both in the movie versions of Wolverine as well as the comic book versions. Deadpool then goes into the bar to get Logan to obviously recruit him for the TVA, saying that he's on the TikTok, referring to the fact that TVA have got Deadpool and sent him to get Wolverine, have got him on a deadline, meaning that Deadpool's essentially hurrying up Wolverine. He's saying that, no, you've got to come with me now. Wolverine makes a really funny joke saying, no lady, get lost, when Deadpool, tries to recruit him. And then it ends up with Deadpool pulling a gun onto Wolverine's head, saying basically, you're coming with me now. And the gun is actually the same gun from Deadpool 2 with the text on the sort of inside of the barrel reading, smile for the Flash. Also in this scene, something I noticed whilst watching the trailer, when Deadpool holds up the gun to Wolverine's forehead, Wolverine leans into the gun with somewhat of a smile or a smirk on his face, knowing that, with the adamantium in his system, he's probably most likely going to survive a bullet from Wade, unless, Wade has adamantium bullets. I don't know, maybe the TVA gave him that, because we know that for the fact that TVA also gave him adamantium katanas as well, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But it's almost as if Wolverine either wants to be shot in the head or he's very cocky, knowing that he's going to survive any fight with Wade at this point. We then see Wade and Logan on the Void Planet in front of the pruned 20th Century Fox logo on the Void Planet from the Loki series. If you haven't seen that, essentially the Void Planet is a planet where things go that are pruned by the TVA, and what I mean is the TVA, who are the Time Variance Authority from the Loki series, send variants who are messing about with the sacred timeline. If they mess around with time travel or the multiverse, they send them to the Void Planet, where they are then hunted down and killed either by each other or a creature called Alioth, who again appears in the Loki series that we'll get onto a bit later. We then get that scene from the other trailer, with this, which is basically the start of the movie, where Deadpool is at this birthday party with all of his friends, and he suggests that in the trailer several times he's at risk of losing them all or his entire universe. Either something where the TVA causes it, or maybe something like Cassandra Nova character, or Alioth maybe. Again, there's various factors that could go into this, or maybe even Kang or Doctor Doom. Again, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe that's going a bit far-fetched here, but Deadpool's universe is at risk, and the whole plot of the movie is Deadpool teaming up with the TVA, and then later on Wolverine going against the TVA and Cassandra Nova's soldiers to effectively save both of their universes, which I think is a really cool plot for the entire movie. We then get more footage on the Void Planet where Wade teases Logan about the fact that he potentially did something to cause his world to get fucked up, implying that parts of Logan's world could be left on the Void Planet or completely destroyed. We do see a couple shots in the trailer where Logan is sort of lying down in a grassy field in front of some monoliths, which again could be teasing the fact that either Wolverine kills the X-Men, which happens in the comics. He gets tricked in quite a few different stories to kill the X-Men or maybe the Avengers. Again, we'll have to wait and see on what happens with this, but it's either that or Wolverine does something where he messes up and it ends up killing a lot of people. I think that's why it goes back to that scene in the bar where everyone hates Wolverine and no one wants him anywhere. You know, he probably lives in a recluse in a cave somewhere until Deadpool obviously finds him in the bar. We then get that amazing fight scene in front of the 20th Century Fox logo with Deadpool and Wolverine fighting it out. This was the leaked footage that we saw ages ago, and in the previous trailer, you know, where Deadpool's doing cool tricks with his pistols. We see some really cool shots where essentially Deadpool has got Wolverine in a lock on his back and he's shooting into his stomach. We've got Wolverine slashing at Deadpool and then stabbing him in his crotch and his ass, which is just really gruesome to say. And then we've got Deadpool and Logan in a cafe in random city streets. I don't know if this is the Void Planet, as it does feature some nice areas but also some, you know, like destroyed areas, so it's hard to say if this is indeed on the Void Planet or not, and I'll go into this location a bit more later. But in the cafe we see Wade trying to open up to Wolverine, with both of them then walking out onto the street with our first ever live action look at a proper 100% comic book accurate Wolverine. You see, in the trailer before we've seen Hugh Jackman's Wolverine with the classic neon blue and yellow costume from the comics with the cowl that we've also seen in leaked posters and merchandise for things like popcorn buckets and things like that. But due to skin conditions and sunlight and issues there, Hugh Jackman could not have his sleeves removed, so either they've done it with CG or he just did it for the film, which is, you know, commitment to the role. As we see them walking about in the streets, we not only see in the trailer Wolverine with the yellow sleeves, but we also see a comic book accurate sleeveless Wolverine, and obviously Hugh Jackman for me is the Wolverine, so this look in my opinion looks fantastic, and this is one of the best looks for Wolverine the character ever that has ever existed in my opinion, so I'm really fantastic that it's in the movie. Also, the song in the background of the trailer is Like a Prayer by Madonna, and this could be a metaphor for the fact that all of our prayers are being answered with all these cameos and Easter eggs, Wolverine and obviously Hugh Jackman returning, and the fact that Deadpool and the Fox X-Men are all coming into the MCU via this film. So again, it's a nice little Easter egg and a metaphor there. This trailer has already shown it was already shown at CinemaCon, but it now continues with Wade showing a picture of friends to Wolverine. He effectively shows, you know, Vanessa, Colossus, all those characters in that photo from the birthday party at the start of the film. He actually shows it to Wolverine, asking for his help, saying that he's a hero and he can help save his friends, his family, and his universe for him. And in the trailer, we keep hearing Deadpool and other characters refer to Wolverine as a hero, as not only a part of the X-Men, but the X-Man, because, you know, when you think of the X-Men, Wolverine is the most popular character, and again, that's a reference to that. With Wolverine, in this particular scene, the one with the picture, replying to Wade saying, "I'm no hero, kid." And this is probably going to cause some kind of argument or fight, maybe Deadpool trying to get answers out of Wolverine, asking him what happened what happened to get him to the point where he is now, what happened in his universe, with them Wolverine maybe lashing out and throwing Deadpool out the car, or slashing him or stabbing him. Again, we'll have to wait and see. We also get more fight scenes with the TVA in the forest. This is actually the forest that we saw in the previous trailer, which is the forest from the opening fight scene from the Avengers Age of Ultron. We also see the 20th Century Fox scene on the Void Planet, again in more detail. We not only get sort of a wide shot, but we also get characters fighting on that as well. And in the trailer we see many more shots of Deadpool and Wolverine in a car. Now this film has also been referenced to the film Cannonball, which is sort of a road trip movie, and a lot of people, I think Kevin Feige even said at this point, so I apologise if I'm misquoting this, but he did say at one point that this was going to be somewhat of a road trip with Wolverine and Deadpool, so that's really cool as well. Now next up is Emma Corrin's Cassandra Nova character, who seems to be one of the main villains in the movie, controlling a band of pruned X-Men characters and Marvel characters from the MCU on the Void Planet from Loki, including Lady Deathstrike, Azazel, and Scorch, who we see in the previous trailer, who we see in a bit more detail. And although these characters are cool and all, her hideout is what really caught my eye here. Cassandra Nova's hideout in the Void Planet is actually amazingly Ant-Man's head and helmet and his skull. We actually see a giant version of Ant-Man's helmet open up with his skull inside of it, which is just wild and absolutely nuts. I don't know if this is a subtle reference to the fact that Ant-Man Quantumania didn't do that well at the box office. I don't know. I think that would be a bit brutal for Marvel if that was the case. But then we see Cassandra Nova stating that boys are silly, and we then see her later in the trailer actually fighting with Logan. She's fighting off Wolverine, using her abilities to not... Wolverine's not even touching her. He's not even getting close. She's just sort of swishing her hands about, and Wolverine is just missing completely, with her then putting Wolverine's claws in the ground, effectively stopping him for that moment in time. Now, if you don't know who Cassandra Nova is, I'm not going to do like a massive breakdown of the character, so I'll give you a short little synopsis of the character. But Cassandra Nova is kind of Charles Xavier's twin sister in the comics, and is a villain mainly in the X-Men comics. She's evil and twisted, a serious nutcase of a villain. She has no regards for life rather, and is a very formidable adversary. And we even see her using her abilities again to fight Wolverine, so we'll have to see it at some point fighting Deadpool as well, and I can't wait for that. But the question is Cassandra Nova going to be the main villain of the movie, or is the TVA's Paradox? As we also see Paradox in this trailer talking to both Deadpool and Wolverine, covered in bumps and bruises and cuts, talking to Wade about how this Wolverine in particular, the one that we see obviously throughout the trailer, failed his universe, with Wolverine being held on the floor inside the TVA, looking very sad and defeated. So maybe Deadpool and Wolverine are sort of caught by the TVA, you know, maybe in the Void Planet or going around different universes, we don't know. Maybe they're caught by the TVA, and this is sort of where we maybe get Deadpool and Wolverine breaking out of the TVA. But again, we're going to have to wait and see if the TVA are the main villains here, because at the end of the Loki Season 2, the TVA were very much the good guys and trying to stop Kang across the multiverse, so maybe since the fact that we've seen Mobius leave the TVA and other characters such as Loki obviously going to control most of the multiverse now, if not all the multiverse, maybe the TVA has changed a little bit. In this trailer, unfortunately it has been leaked via promotional items and t-shirts and other things, but we actually see footage of Dogpool, who is one of the Deadpool variants that we'll actually see throughout the movie. Dogpool starts licking Deadpool's face, with Wolverine looking very grossed out in the background, and in this film we'll also see Kidpool, who is a child version of Deadpool. We'll also see a better looking, more handsome, cancer-free version of Deadpool talking to Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Unfortunately, this, I couldn't really get much footage of it, as this was a leaked set footage, so I apologise for that. But we'll also see Headpool, who is a disembodied floating flying head with bulging eyes, who resembles the decapitated head from X-Men Origins Wolverine, as that was Ryan Reynolds' first appearance as Deadpool. Either that or it could be from the Marvel Comics, as in Marvel Zombies, so we'll have to wait and see. But as well as those characters, again, we've got Deadpool and many more variants we could see both of Wolverine and Deadpool, as in this film it's been rumoured that we're going to get not only Henry Cavill, but potentially Daniel Radcliffe as well, playing variants of Wolverine, so we're going to have to wait and see. We then see some more footage of vehicles throughout the Marvel Universe and X-Men comics and Fantastic Four comics as cameos in this Mad Max-esque scene in the Void Planet, a few of them being the Fantastic Four car, the truck from Moon Knight, motorbikes from Captain America, as well as the Red Skull's car. We actually see more footage of that in this trailer. We also see Alioth again from the Loki series, who is a giant creature from the Void Planet who kills all variants on the Void Planet. We not only see Alioth in a full shot, but we also see Alioth attacking Cassandra Nova's soldiers as well as TVA soldiers, and the other X-Men and MCU characters that have been pruned on the planet. So maybe they're trying to control Alioth, but it ends up with, you know, Alioth as effectively a creature, it's a force of nature. It breaks free and starts attacking Deadpool and Wolverine, with them later escaping using a ring portal, you know, the ones used by Doctor Strange and the other magic users in the MCU. It opens and Deadpool and Wolverine jump out of the eye socket from the skull, the Ant-Man skull rather. They jump out of that through the portal, and unfortunately we don't actually see where they end up. Now, if I'm speculating, this could be the city landscape that we see later in the trailer. They could jump through this portal and end up there, with maybe the TVA fighting them or confronting them or capturing them. But again, we're gonna have to wait and see. So everyone, thank you so much for watching the video today. That was the brand new Deadpool and Wolverine trailer. This film is going to be absolutely brilliant in my opinion. I cannot wait for this film to come out. I'm going to be there day one with my partner watching it. I'm so excited. Deadpool is one of my favourite Marvel comic characters, as well as Wolverine, and the fact that I love the original Deadpool and Deadpool 2, so I can't wait to see what they do with this brand new movie. I'm so excited. Also for all the MCU cameos, the TVA, and potentially going into Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty, and maybe even including a few surprise Easter eggs. I cannot wait. But thank you so much for watching, and tell me in the comments below, are you excited for Deadpool and Wolverine, and what do you think of the TVA and Cassandra Nova and all of the Easter eggs and trailer footage that we saw from today's trailer? Thank you so much for watching, and for more Deadpool and Wolverine content on the channel, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye.